Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today I'm out at the shop working on this little Integra that got dropped off, and it is an eBay Turbo B18B with a turbo kit from eBay. I just said that, what the hell. And the car is not really running that good. He dropped it off, needing a tune, and I'm just going through some things because when he dropped it off, the battery was dead, so I had to plug battery charger in. I got the battery charged up, and I did get the thing to fire up. It didn't really sound all that good, and I noticed a few issues right off the bat. So I'm gonna try and attempt to get this thing started again and show you how it's running currently. This is exactly how it got dropped off. Pretty noisy top end. Really noisy top end of the motor. Yeah. Alright guys, so as you could probably hear, it doesn't sound very good. It sounds like the top end of the motor has got a little knock to it, or at least a tapping sound coming from the top end of the motor, and extremely rich and just doesn't sound good at all. I did notice a little exhaust leak coming out between the turbo and the manifold, and I think it's just because it's so rich with fuel that it's just finding any little crevice to get out. So I'm gonna ignore that for now. We're gonna pull the spark plugs out of it. I just pulled the wires off of here. I'm gonna get the plugs out of the motor. We're gonna take a look at those next. So these are the plugs I just pulled out of it. They're auto light something or another. Like, I ain't got time for this shit. Come on. Auto light? Really? Come on. They all look like they're hitting, so that's a good thing, I guess. You'd think after a while, of me preaching the same things over and over and over again, that I wouldn't have to continuously do the same things over and over again, but it's just part of it, I guess. I don't think the car scene is what it used to be. The days of people building their own stuff is kind of going out the window, I think. They just want to reap the benefits and pay somebody else to do it. The spark plugs might explain some of the knocking noise. Maybe it was pre-igniting, maybe it was a fuel hydrolock knock. I don't know. We're gonna pull the valve cover next. I'm gonna see if the valve lash is really far off or something, because it sounds like maybe the valves are just super loose. So I'll check that next. We're definitely gonna have to get a set of spark plugs. I don't think I have any here, unfortunately. Normally I always have a set of plugs. Ooh, I do. We're good. I got a set of plugs here. NGK guys, NGK V-Power coppers, the only thing I ever put in these cars. I should say it every video, right? Alright guys, we got the valve cover off. I'm going to check the valve lash. This stuff seems extremely loose. You can hear it clattering just by wiggling it. Sometimes these B18 heads, they will be a little like loose on this side, but we're going to check valve lash in between the cam. We should be between 7,000s, around 7,000s on the intake and 9,000s on the exhaust. We're going to turn the motor over by hand until we get these straight up and down, and then we'll see what cams are straight up. And those are the ones we'll check first. Then we'll rotate it 90 degrees, check again, 90 degrees, check again, 90 degrees, check again. We'll go from there. Alright guys, so I got the valve cover off and I was just checking the lash. I got this set up for cylinder number 4. And this is the exhaust valve. I don't know if you can see, but this is a 22 thousandths feeler gauge. And that's about what it is. It might be 23 thousandths here on the exhaust. All the other ones are okay. This one's super loose. I haven't checked any of the other ones, but pretty much just tells me the car needs a valve lash. So we need valve lash. I pulled the spark plugs out of it. They were those auto lights. And the gap is right around 42, 43 thousandths. So we need spark plugs and gap, a valve lash, and injectors. So the injectors they look like the cheap eBay injectors here. I did test with my multimeter. I'm going to show you guys that quick. So I'm doing a resistance test on the injectors, and they are reading trying to do this one-handed here. 2.6. So these are a low impedance injector, and this is a Integra. So this is an OBD1 Integra. And this is where the resistor box should be wired into, but there is no resistor box here. So in order to run these injectors, we need to run a resistor box, and there is no resistor box. So that can cause a lot of issues tuning. Trying to get the fueling straightened out on the tune is going to be very difficult when you have a high impedance controlled ECU powering low impedance injectors. It's not going to idle the best, etc. This thing runs like crap. It has a lot of noise in the head. So I'm gonna have to talk to the customer, see what he wants to do. I'm actually texting with him right now to see how much he wants me to do, or if he wants to come pick the car up, because I can't tune it like this. We need to at least get valve lash, spark plugs, and injectors figured out. There is some other little things here, like the wastegate dump is blowing right at the bumper here and the intercooler, so that's not ideal. In this oil feed line being kinked like this, I don't know how long the turbo is going to last. So I recommended him to replace the oil feed line, do the valve lash, and the stuff I mentioned. So we'll see what he wants to do, and I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, so it's a couple days later. I got back out to the shop to work on this Integra with the eBay turbo kit and the B18B LS Honda motor. I had the valve cover off. I reset the valve lash. There was a lot of valves that were really loose, and I kind of assumed that's why the motor was a little noisy. So I got all the valves set. I set a Hunter Tune 1000cc injectors installed. These things installed pretty nice. And I got rid of the injector adapters that this thing had. And I put on the fail-proof ones from Hunter Tuned. It looks really nice. There you go, you can kind of get a better idea looking at them now. And I threw a base map in this thing and fired right up, but still making noise. I don't know if you guys saw the oil that was in this thing. This is the oil that was in the car when it was brought to me. You got a focus camera? There you go, you can get a little better look at it there. So this is the oil that was in the car when he brought it to me. It's very foamy and full of fuel. Let me get this dipstick back installed here. Okay, so, and when I had the valve cover off, I went to go reinstall it. The valve cover gasket was really stretched out, so I actually just cut a little chunk out of it to shorten the gasket so it fits again. I didn't really want to waste time or money that this guy, you know, didn't have to spend. But the PCV valve here is busted too. It was taped or something. So like I said, I got the injectors installed. I'm gonna fire this thing up again. I'm gonna let you guys know how it sounds. Yeah. Good, it idles good, but the frickin' thing is noisy. That thing's hammering. It gets louder with RPM. You guys hear that the RPM came down there? Here, let's try this one more time. Just really slowly. I don't want to fucking kick a rod out of the block. Oh yeah. And then as it decelerates, the knock goes away. That's how you know it's a rod knock. This thing's junk. I just wasted all this time. I mean, it runs a hell of a lot better, even with a rod knock. It's a little rich, but it idles really smooth. Got the right injectors in it. Got the right spark plugs in it. Valve lash is set. Alright guys, so there's only so much I can do at this point. The motor needs to be replaced, or at least rebuilt. It's got a bottom end knock. I don't know if the quality of oil, you know, I don't know if this thing has been neglected where they never change oil. It's been running on E85 and clearly not the best. You know, you guys probably heard the car running when it came in, and now I got it running smooth, but the motor just, you know, can't do anything about that realistically. So it sucks. I asked the guy like a couple days ago, I said, hey, car needs an oil feed line, it needs injectors, and it needs spark plugs and a valve lash. And he said, no problem, you can do that stuff. And I, you know, told him the price and whatever, and he was okay with it. So I proceeded to do the valve lash, install the injectors, do all that, and then I fire it up in this. So, I mean, it sucks, but like, what do you do at the end of the day? Do I still charge this guy for the valve lash and stuff, even though this motor is useless? It's kind of unfortunate when stuff like this happens. Normally, bottom end knock, you know, somebody's going to notice something's wrong with the motor before they bring it for a tune, but you know, not everybody has that the ear for a motor. Like, they don't really know that that's an issue. It sucks, but I'm trying to be a nice guy here, you know, and help all these guys out, but it's frustrating, but yeah, I'm gonna be taking a break from tuning cars for a little while, guys, because I might be moving shops, and I'm gonna need like at least 2 or 3 months to get everything out of here. We're gonna be moving the dyno and doing all that stuff. I just don't like when people, I don't want this to come back at me because it was brought in with an issue, you know. That's why I try to go through everything before I tune a car. I didn't even tune, like, clearly I didn't even strap this thing on the roller. Like, I haven't even moved it under its own power. I just idled it, and it's already knocking. So it clearly had issues before it came in. Well, yeah. Hopefully a guy comes and picks his car up. And he'll get a motor in it. And maybe come back. I told him that the car's knocking, and he just said, damn, I already put so much money into this car, and now it needs a motor. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like I was put on this earth to help people. But I don't know where that line is, and I try to help too much sometimes. I think that's my issue. And I'm really bad at saying no to customers. So a lot of people that reach out to me, if I don't say no, or if I don't say yes, I just ignore. And it's a really big problem of mine because I don't really know how to deal with the amount of volume of messages and opportunity, realistically, that I have at my doorstep. I don't know how to manage anything. I don't know how to organize anything. I don't know how to schedule anything. I mean, I probably do, but like I just can't focus on doing it. It's really tough. And I talk about, you know, not really knowing what to do all the frickin' time. I don't know what to do a lot of time. I really don't. And I just want to say sorry to all the people that have reached out, gotten blown off by me. Don't take it personal. Some people though, like I've tuned in the past and then they hit me up again and their initial car they brought in was like a headache, or like it was just not really something I wanted to tune, but I tuned it anyway because I was a nice guy. And then they hit me up for a second tune or something else, and I ignore them because I just have a thing in my head that's just like, I remember this person or whatever, and I just ignore them because I don't want to deal with it. But then they and if I spent like all day actually messaging these people back and saying no and why, my reasoning and everything like that, a lot of times they just like end up talking me into doing it for them. And what a thing I've learned over the course of doing all this and over the years is, unfortunately, a lot of people really are not out for my well-being. They're out for their own well-being, which is fine. Like, we have to be selfish like that. I'm just out to help everybody else a lot of times, and I'm not out to help myself because I don't know. I just don't know. You know, this is why dyno tuning is really tough. I think it'd be different if I didn't have so many irons in the fire. Like, if I wasn't doing YouTube and I wasn't helping people on Messenger and focusing on social media posts and running the website and filling orders, and then also doing the shop and dyno tuning, and then also having 7 of my own cars. Like, if I wasn't doing all of that and I only did like one thing, absolutely. If I only did just dyno tuning, I feel like a lot of this wouldn't be an issue at all. I just don't want to just do dyno tuning. Like, I don't work my own, or I don't work a 9-to-5 job because I don't like repetition. Like, I like to change it up, do different stuff once in a while. Sometimes I like dyno tuning, sometimes I get sick of doing it. And when I'm sick of doing it, I don't get back to the people that want to get tuned. Like, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm trying to continue doing this, is because I really enjoy that freedom of being able to do that. Like, I don't have like some huge shop. I don't have huge overhead. Like, I don't need to tune everybody's car to like pay my bills. I purposely have my stuff set up that way to where I can have, because I was talking to Brent from PFI a couple days ago, and he said one of the main reasons he does what he does and why he's continued to tune and have the shop and everything like that is because he enjoys the freedom. He doesn't do it for money, you know. And I've noticed too, like with PFI and stuff, I look up to those guys. I really do. And from an outsider's perspective, it seems like they're doing a lot of their own cars nowadays. They're not doing as many customer tunes and stuff like that. You see them once in a while on the channel, but it's not as much as it used to be. I think because Brent and Jamie and all those guys have gained more freedom. They've been able to self-sustain better with their YouTube channel and stuff like that, to where they don't need to tune all the time. And that's what I'm working towards. Like, I don't want to work, you know, like, obviously you want to retire as early as possible, or you want to have as much freedom as you know, because like, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So if I'm wasting my day helping somebody that's just gonna, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but like, I don't know how to balance this stuff, like, at all. And like, I hope you guys can somewhat understand what I'm trying to say. I posted about the car knocking. I posted on Facebook, and people are saying, why are you wasting your time with these eBay builds? Why don't you help these other people that messaged you with $30,000 cars? It's really tough to like see through a message if somebody has like a $30,000 car. And if I'm like trying to get everybody's story that's trying to get a hold of me all the time, and I'm like understanding who these people are and what kind of car they have and how much money they have in their wallet and blah, blah, blah. If I spent all day doing that, I wouldn't have time to fucking do anything else. And some people think like, just because they have like a huge wallet, that I need to drop everything I'm doing and help them. And if I don't, I'm an idiot. Because those customers are gonna pay me dividends in the end, which yes, they might, but I'm not gonna be pushed over because you have $1 million. Like, for example, this specific customer, I don't even know if I should like tell these stories. I'm not like name dropping or nothing, but I feel guilty talking about it. But it's like, I have to like explain sometimes my reasoning, and a lot of times like I have reasoning, I just can't like put it into words to these specific customers, because I don't want to be that guy to them, and I don't want to be an asshole, and I don't want to be whatever. So I just ignore. And like I said, it's a bad trait of mine, because like I said, I'm really bad at being not nice, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm too nice a lot of times, and I'm trying to help everybody as much as possible. But like, if somebody brings me a car and I tune it and it makes pretty good horsepower, but maybe it's down a little bit of horsepower because I tuned it a little bit more conservatively than the next guy, and then they are unhappy because the car wasn't up to their standards, so they take it somewhere else. And then brag about how much better this other guy did versus the guy that tuned it initially, me. And they brag about that shit on the internet. And then 6 months later, they want me to fix something of theirs, or they want me to tune something of theirs. Why would I do that? Why would I continue working with these people? Like, if you're gonna talk down, and then ask me again 6 months later to help you again? Come on. I'm really trying to keep a perfect, as good of a reputation as I can, but it's like nearly impossible because you cannot please everybody. It is impossible. And it drives me nuts. And it makes me not want to do it. Because if I can't do it and please everybody and make people happy, if I make one person upset, like, it ruins me. It ruins me. Like, it sucks. Trying to do the best I can. Like, people need to work on my schedule. If I feel like doing something, I'm going to do it. If I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. And I got to start being better about that. I'm just really bad at it because I've been in a lot of these people's shoes, and I try to help them out. But then again, like, nowadays people like don't build their own shit, and they don't figure out problems on their own. Like, if they have a problem, they just need to have somebody else do it, and they just pay them, which is fine, I guess. But like, sometimes money doesn't buy your it doesn't fix all your issues. Like, money doesn't always fix all your issues. I've done a lot with nothing, building cars, my whole life. And I feel like I'm kind of an example of that. Like, you don't need money to, like, yeah, money helps, but it doesn't do everything. It doesn't fix everything. Unless you got a really good guy on your side. And then, like, okay, so say, like, I will help a lot of these people that have, like, all this money. Like, if I can pinpoint, say I have, I don't even know, like, I have so many, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, I really don't. I'm just really bad at scheduling, and I'm really bad at communication. I'm only bad at communication because I know if I start communicating with somebody, it's going to invest a lot of my brain power and a lot of my mental capacity. Like, if I start giving this person my time, I know what kind of commitment I give to people. So sometimes it's easier to ignore that commitment than it is to actually commit to it. I just feel like a lot of people nowadays are helpless, man. And they won't do it themselves. So some stuff's just gotta change. Maybe the start of it has gotta be, I don't know, not do as much. More money, more problems. I've never had fucking money in my life. So now that I have a little bit and I have opportunity, I'm terrified to like let it go. But I just don't know how to like not go fucking stir crazy in the meantime. I'm fucking behind on so much shit, it's not even funny. I have like numerous fucking orders I'm catching up on still. I gotta file my taxes. I'm in the process of moving shops. A lot of people out there probably got a lot of great advice, but I don't know anybody doing what I'm doing. I don't know anybody that's doing all the stuff that I do. I don't know nobody. It really makes me just not want to do this shit no more. When you get people that complain that I don't fucking get back to them and shit, like it literally makes me not want to do it at all. Like, can't you see I'm trying? It's never good enough. I'm never going to be enough for everybody. Even though I'll try. Y'all wonder, like, I fucking post shit complaining all the time and bitching about, like, I'm lost and I don't know what to do. I am unmotivated. Like, this is why. All this stuff, like, it's just every day I never get a fucking break. Ever. Well, yeah, just take a vacation. It ain't that fucking easy. Because then I take a vacation and then I really don't get back to people. And then what? Then my, you know, name and reputation really goes fucking down the shitter. I just need to focus on one thing. I just don't know what to do. I don't want to focus on just one thing. Because it all works together. Like, because I have a YouTube channel is the reason I have business. And because I have a YouTube channel is how I can sell parts online on my website. If I didn't have that, if I didn't have all of them working together, I don't think any of it would come together, you know? Even though, like, I was tuning cars and stuff before I had a YouTube channel and I was doing fine. But, like, I don't think it would be what it is without doing all of it. And, like, I'm just striving to grow the YouTube audience. You know, who knows, maybe I gotta hire somebody to do all my orders for my website so I can just focus on whatever else. But then again, am I gonna trust those people? Like, if somebody has an issue with something, who are they gonna go to? That, you know, and I don't think I ever really wanted to have, like, some huge business. Like, I just wanted to make videos and have fun and make some money on the side, you know. Like, I didn't really plan on making, like, some fucking billion-dollar company. I know that might be some people's goals, but, like, going back to what Brent said, like, I just want freedom. I want the ability to be able to build a car and pay for it. I want to have the ability to have my house with my beautiful fiance and my dog, and be able to do whatever I want. Obviously not all the time, you gotta work sometimes to be able to have that freedom, but I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. If you try to please everybody, you're never gonna please yourself. Like I said, I just don't know anybody that eats, sleeps, and breathes this shit and does it by themselves. And man, I can't wait to go to the track this year and have all the people at the track question me and say, why didn't you get back to me? Why didn't you tune my shit? Hey, I tried getting a hold of you. Sorry. Sorry. Then that's gonna bug me so I can't enjoy my own time at the racetrack. Because fucking Larry over here is mad at me because I didn't fucking tune his shit. You know, back in the day, like in the 80s and probably in the 90s, you go to the racetrack, you worked on your own shit. Like, yeah, you might have had some help from a couple buddies, but you worked on your own shit. That's where, like, that competitive part of the sport came about. You know, everybody kind of was out for themselves. I feel like that's how it was more so back in the day than it is now. Now it's, oh, that guy's faster because he was tuned by this guy, or this guy's faster because his motor was built by this guy. And I understand, like, there's specialty work that not everybody has the machinery and the equipment to do themselves, and they need help. You know, and dyno tuning is probably one of those things. You know, not everybody can afford to buy a dyno. But some people can afford to buy a dyno, and they don't. Because they don't want the responsibility, or they just don't want to do it themselves. I bought my motorcycle dyno actually because I was going to a local guy. He made me a little upset, probably just like I'm upsetting these people, because he wasn't getting back to me, and I wanted to give him a lot of money, and he just didn't give me the time of day with the bike stuff, and I got mad, just like a lot of these people are. So I get it. I'm not saying I don't. I just don't know what to tell you guys. It's a complicated thing. But anyways, I got upset, and I just bought my own dyno. I bought my own motorcycle dyno. I saved up money and I bought my own. And I don't plan on tuning other people's motorcycles. Maybe once in a while, if I have, you know, like I have this Grom in my garage that I'm working on for a guy, I'll probably dyno it on my dyno. I'm not gonna go out and fucking advertise I'm tuning fucking sport bikes and all this shit, because I don't want to do that every day. And then have another fucking iron in the fire that I can't manage and keep track of and fucking schedule and all that. Have another thing that I have just fucking weighing me down. But like I said, I bought my own dyno because I didn't want to rely on somebody else. I wanted to get my shit tuned, and I wanted to tune it. So I bought my own. I made it happen. A lot of people give up, and they're like, he ain't gonna get back to me, I'm just gonna give up on my project. And then the whole fucking scene and everybody hot rodding just goes down the drain. Because they just don't have the fucking drive to do it. Or so, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. This isn't like a typical business. It's not like a typical, you know, I'm not like a car dealership. And people expecting Facebook messages to not get missed. No, they get missed. It's like that fucking guy that I missed his email or something, and then he fucking literally screamed at me on the phone for like an hour. I still have the clips of that on my phone. I'm not going to show them. I talked about it in the video a while ago. And a lot of people like think like, oh, yeah, it's a $30,000 build, it must be ready to go, right? No. Just because the car has really fancy parts and you know, the owner has a lot of money does not mean the car is ready to go. It's not ready for a tune a lot of times. You guys know that. Every fucking car that comes into my shop, eBay bullshit or not, or nice, if it's nice shit or eBay shit, a lot of times they're still not ready completely. There's always some little thing that's got to happen. You got to put the wideband in it, or, you know, it's got a fucking wiring issue or whatever. What was I saying? Oh yeah, just because like and like how am I supposed to know? And I was like, oh, I'll just do the consultation, right? I'll just do the consultation, that way I can talk to these people before they bring their shit. Well, I've been doing that, and people still don't get it. Like, they'll say, oh yeah, this thing's ready to go, I fixed all these little things, and then it still has issues when they bring it in, even like over the phone. That's why like I don't remote tune. I'm done. I don't remote tune because people will still have issues with their car, and it's really hard to diagnose the stuff over the phone. If you're not with it in person, it's just not, no. And the same thing with a consult. Like you do a consult, it's like remote tuning a car, and then when it shows up, it's totally not what you expected. So sometimes you just have to dive in and just do it, which I'm sick of doing. Just fucking burnt out of it. I just want to make cool videos, help you guys out with some parts, and tune cars for select people. I don't think tuning everybody's shit, tuning every little person's stuff is not my goal. You know, and if somebody really wants me to tune their stuff, like, the price is probably going to have to go up. I charge like $500 for a dyno tune a lot of times. And it's... people pay it. I just don't know if it's worth the headspace that it takes up in my brain. Dealing with people, man. I don't know.